What is real? How do you define real?
Like everyone else, you were born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.
The Fashion Matrix Podcast with Pablo Mentor.
Wake up and be free.
Welcome everyone, what's going on? This is Pablo Mentor. Welcome to the Fashion Matrix, another episode. I'm very excited because I have one of my very best friends, and I'm back in America as well. Woo-wee, I'm back in America. I did it. I made it over the wall. But I'm back with my brother, my friend Bryan Casella, and I have him as a guest. And we're going to go back and forth as we normally do because we can talk about literally anything. But before we get into the actual topic, welcome, brother. How are you?
What's up, motherfucker? Yeah. What's up, man? Good to have you back in the States finally after this whole pandemic. The shit has launched, and now you need your vaccine card tattooed on your left arm, and they're going to remove one of your testicles. And to go to the grocery store, you need 2 vaccines and 6 booster shots. It's good to have you back, man, because I told you, and I meant it. I never thought you'd be able to make it here unless some act of God stopped everything and reversed it. So I'm happy you're here. That's it for me.
That's it for me. Yeah, well, I was thinking the same thing, but you have to be persistent. You have to keep the momentum, never stop, keep the positivity and the faith. You know what I'm saying? That's an inside joke. But no, yeah, I mean, for real, I thought it was some very hard 2.5 years. Yeah, like 2.5 years. And but anyway, we talk only about what we want to focus on. We want to focus on the good shit. I want to talk about the good shit. I'm back, and we're going to talk about something that has to do with fully immersing yourself. Yeah, well, I'll take another one. Yeah, but we're drinking mate, by the way, because we love some mate. And I started drinking it before I met Bryan, by the way. If you guys don't, I mean, if you follow me, you probably know who this guy is. But mate is an Argentinian like tea or brew. That would be the perfect way of saying it, right? Like a brew.
Drink of the gods. Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. There we go. But it's great for your body. It's actually really, really good for your body. And I drink it for the health benefits, and I just fell in love with it. It's great. Listen to it. Mm. Ah. But anyway, I want to talk about discipline and immersing yourself into a topic. It's something that you brought up in a post that I saw you did it on your Facebook, I think. That people think very laterally, vertically. So I think it's one.
Medium fingers.
They think that they're just one thing, right? And it's something that resonated with me so fucking much because since the moment I was born, man, I've never thought of myself as just one thing. But it was frowned upon, like, oh no, you have to pick one thing and that's it, and you can never be anything else, like very rigid. And I thought, well, hold on a second, like even when I was a kid, I never told you this before, man, but even when I was a kid, I saw it because in Mexico City, the earthquakes are a pain in the motherfucking ass.
Just like California.
Yeah, but I remember thinking, well, yeah, it's a mate, you know what I'm saying? The most rigid structures made out of metal are the ones that fall more. Oh shit, the cat. Oh man. Brian's cat is fucking around. God damn. Carajo. I think my daughter's first word is gonna be carajo. Even my girl says that. Man, she's gonna be like carajo. Maya, shout out to Maya. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I want to talk to her, man. Shit, if I start talking about her, I'm gonna cry, baby. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, the rigid structures are the ones that fall the quickest, and the ones that are more flexible, like structures, like I don't know, like a material made out of bamboo, to give an example, right? It can hold way more weight, and the structure moves with the earthquake, right? Because that's what I was thinking when I was a kid. And then the ones that are very rigid, they fall because they don't move. They don't go with the flow. If that makes sense. So with that being said, I want to ask you, and I want to pass it to you. What do you think about this idea that you have to be very structured, rigid, just pick one thing, be a lawyer? No, but I want to learn about spirituality. No, that's for devil. You go to church, you're a good Christian, you're a good doctor, and that's it. Just one lateral thing. Pass it to you, man.
Man, there's a lot that can be said about that, bro. Like immediately in my mind, I think something that we hear all the time and that we can say embody is like the warrior scholar. You're a warrior, but you're not a meathead dumbass. It's like, right? Like you have intelligence, but you've mastered the physical aspect of fighting. He swallowed one of the tamarind seeds. Oh, it's gonna grow in your stomach like the watermelon, bro. I'm sorry. You have 2 weeks to live. Anyways, even within that, right? But there's so much I can say about that because you mentioned two things. One, the rigidity, right? Common thing you guys will hear to combat that, right? Something that's like a buzzword is a flow state, right? Like you'll hear Kobe or Jordan say, hey, when I played, I was already 3 steps ahead, 3 plays ahead. I was never in the moment. I was already thinking, I'm already going to beat this defender. What's the next guy going to do? And the next guy, and they react. There's no stiffness in the body, just like a fighter, right? The fighters are the most active, strong, and flexible when they're relaxed. There's no rigidity there. So, and at the same time, you brought up not just being one thing. So my post was something along the lines saying, hey, everybody's trying to be the smooth guy, the alpha, the salesman, the cool guy, the spiritual guy. And then I said, like, well, I'm all of those and more. So just from a simple application standpoint, just to keep it simple, one, when you guys are on your journey, let's say you're 5 years into the sale game, if you've really immersed yourself, you can be pretty damn good in 5 years. Almost to the point now where you're reaching like almost the pinnacle of what you can say your skill set is. You're still learning, but now you can complement that with something else. I tell people, it's almost like if you think of like the Boy Scouts. When you would achieve something, you would get a merit badge. Now, it's not like you achieve it and then you forget about it forever. It's still there. It's still something you're supposed to practice. So if I've accumulated all these pieces of armor or merit badges, and they're things that I continually work on, I can then add that to my game and repertoire. Just like if we're going to work on becoming a better public speaker and we get good, right? There's some other things that can complement that as well, right? What if I want to start working on my physique too? Oh no, well, I can't be a calisthenics guy. I'm only a public speaker. You see, when we give you these extreme examples, you realize how stupid some of these philosophies are. And that's another reason I love talking about this stuff is the mere thought process of me giving you an extreme example to make that look stupid shows the plasticity of my mind and my ability to be flexible in the way that I explain it to you so you understand it, right? Hopefully everybody's still following me. But as an example, somebody will tell you, oh no, you're doing like someone who's not in real estate or sales. Oh no, real estate, you have to do this. And what do? If you don't know any better, you're like, oh shit, okay, yeah, I have to do that. Until someone like me or Pablo comes around and we're like, well, have you thought about doing XYZ? Have you thought about doing this? Right? Or someone comes to me and gives me some story. And as I'm listening to it, my mind is just boom, boom, boom. And I'm getting all these other little bubbles and light bulbs and ideas. But we in practice have been flexible for years now versus they're stuck in that thing. But the point of awareness and change is when you come across somebody like us, you interact, and then that possibility is shared with you, right? Those of you who maybe you're more into the buzzword stuff, we're looking into the infinity of the quantum field, right? And then now we grab something and showed it to you. Well, while we grab that and showed it to you, there's a bunch of other things floating around too. We just happen to grab that one. But if you only focus on this one and this is all you look at, this ball that I gave to you, you're unaware that there's a million other possibilities and balls that you can just look at and see. So when you're not looking, does that mean it doesn't exist? Right? Right? Question mark, mic drop, right? But of course, simple. But again, we're giving you different references from different worlds so you get it regardless of who you are listening to this. But what we're talking about here is who told you that you can only be one? Like, where did that come from? Like, I'll pass it back to you now. The funny joke that I say is, where's this magical like manual of life that this person always quotes? Because everybody gives you those same quotes. Who the fuck wrote that shit? Like, give it to me, and then I'll say, okay, what you said is true. But until then, until you can produce that book that everybody gives this bullshit advice from, I don't want to fucking hear it.
That's it for me. Man, that's so fucking true. And I got a question to you before I pass it back to you, man. It's so fucking true because people follow the molds, right? The things that were already created, like this structure, like this is the way that you have to do it. And people like Bryan, get the fuck out of here, cat. The cat is fucking around again. Shit. You broke the mold, right? We break molds of the standards that this is how a realtor is supposed to be like. And then a simple example coming as an image consultant. I remember you were wearing tennis shoes with your suit, and I remember you telling me, man, everyone was giving you shit. Even I gave you some shit, like, man, you're not supposed to do that. But you're right. Who the fuck invented that? I mean, why? Yeah. Tell me why I can't do something. Who invented that shit? And then at the very core is because most people are afraid of becoming a leader, right? They like being told what to do because it's comfortable, and everybody knows that comfort kills you. And then the people, we can invent some bullshit, and if we actually market it in the right way, people will start doing it. And without any question, your critical thinking is disappearing, bro, and it's actually being censored. Like you and I have been censored and shadow banned. The moment you develop or you enhance your perception to a point where you are a critical thinker and you doubt everything, not in a way that you become crazy, but at least you want to fact check yourself, right? You don't want to let others to tell you, oh, this is true, this is not true, because then you become a follower, you become a zombie, you become a fucking dumbass motherfucker. That's the point. Facts. So, by the way, this statement was fact checked by independent fact checkers, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I like talking to you, because you created your own lifestyle around things that were already predisposed. No. You have to wear a suit and tie, this and this. So you learn the rules of the game, and then you made them your own, which is exactly what you guys got to do. You have to, first understand the rules. And it doesn't mean that you have to be like that all the time. And then you can make it your own. You have to allow yourself to be free enough to try different things. How do you know this is going to be different, or how do you know this is going to work, or this doesn't work? And how the fuck do you know all those things unless you actually put them into action? You try them, right? You do them. And that's why I love we can be so many different things at the same time. And we actually are so many different things. We have so many different layers all acting at the same time. We are positive, negative, we are masculine, feminine. We have a microcosmos and the microcosmos all interacting at the same time. And what you just said is beautiful, because the whatever you put attention to, that is what reality becomes. Whatever you perceive, whatever you focus on, that's real. But that doesn't mean that the other things don't exist. It's simply because your focus is placed upon one thing. That doesn't mean that that's only what is real. And that's what happens with, I don't know, religion or business. Like, people perceive one opinion. They have one opinion or one fact, and then they say, no, this is it. They can't be, there's no other way. It's impossible that your way is true. How come? I mean, that's stupid. And that's going back to being rigid, right? But I got a question for you. Where do you think this all started? And you know that I like talking about conspiracy theories and all that shit, so you can go as deep as you like. But where do you think this whole bullshit started? Of being rigid and all that?
People who, if we're going to use layman's terms, people who are extremely evil and conniving, who are in positions of power, realize how easily you can mold someone at a young age to do whatever you want them to do. And they understood a lot of this information at the highest level, or hired with a lot of money the people who knew everything about human psychology, communication, marketing, subliminal messaging, right? Probably psychologists, how to shape the mind, how to create emotional instability in humans. And they built the system, right? And again, none of us ever existed at that point when that idea was in its inception point, but that's what it is. You know what I mean? And again, it's theory. You know, and whether it's true or not, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you or the next man about it either, because then that's a waste of fucking time. Like, hey, bro, fuck you. The earth is flat. No, it's round. It's like, dude, okay, maybe both of them are possible. I don't know, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. What the fuck does that do for my life? Right. Yeah. And I want to even add to the point, too, to what you said earlier. because he said something important. He said, understand the game and then do your thing, right? Not just come in and do whatever the fuck you want. I wore a suit. You know why I wore tennis shoes? Because I went with the status quo and said, I got to wear dress shoes. And I went door knocking. And after the fourth door, my feet were fucked up. So I started asking people that would tell me that, have you ever knocked on doors? And you know what the answer was? Hell no. And I said, then what the fuck do you know about what shoes you're going to wear, dude? Come knock 100 doors. Come to knock 100 doors with me, everybody. And tell me you have to wear dress shoes, right? So it wasn't even me trying to be a rebel. I had to use my head and say, well, if I do this every day, my feet will be destroyed in a week and I can never door knock again because I'll have permanent damage. So I have to figure it out. Now, what did I do? I went to the extreme by getting like the crazy, like neon orange, yellow. But in my mind, that's my creativity coming in and kind of breaking the mold, right? But I still wore a suit on the top, and some people would comment on it. I'm like, dude, you want to come knock doors with me? They said, fuck no, I don't want to. So keep rocking the tennis shoes, you know? Now there's, a million ways we can extrapolate that, right? But, I didn't come in with just that asshole, I'm going to do whatever I want. No, I played by the rules, but I had to adapt. Right? Because if you're playing by the rules and there's an issue, you have to adapt. So not only did I adapt, I added my own flavor to it. That's what he said. I broke the mold, right? Not even really in a bad way, but I did it in my own individual way, right? And going back to what you said earlier, man, recognizing that whatever that is, right? The key there, and we talked about this on my podcast that we just shot, is awareness, dude. Like being aware. Like you have to understand. All you have to do is look at a child and see how raw and blank our canvas is, right? Like as an example, let me give you some quick examples. Right now, if you in your mind listen to me, watch a video, or you have an idea, oh, I want to be a millionaire, immediately you start destroying yourself and working against yourself. I can't do it. Everybody around you destroys you. They shit on your dream. They piss on you. They slap you in the face. They beat you up, chew you up, and spit you out. Now, tell a kid who has made a decision, oh, you know what, Pablito, I want to be an astronaut. Try to talk that kid out of it. He will tell you to go fuck yourself a million different ways, and you can't convince him of anything until he decides, oh, I don't want to be an astronaut anymore. They're the most stubborn, and they'll make you feel like shit. They'll be like, fuck you, old man. Why are you messing with a kid? And you're like, oh shit, that's true. Right? But that's us in that raw, unmanipulated, unprogrammed form. What the fuck is the essence of that? Because a child has a blank slate. So call it God's essence or whatever the fuck it is. That's there. Yeah. I mean, whatever the fuck we want to call it. The divine spirit, you know what I mean? That comes through the beam and the crown chakra when all, yeah, exactly. It's Donatiu smiling on you every morning, right? So, right. Get back to that. That all that is an awareness to say, I was like that as a kid. I mean, there was shit I did. I used to do backflips standing up as a kid and all kinds. And now I know I can do it, but my mind gets in the way like it's like, right? There's like a little block, right? But when I was a kid, I would have maybe did it. I fucked up. I got up. Okay, do it again. Boom, I got it. I used to do all kinds of wild shit like that without even thinking about it. And there was no fear, programmed fear. Now, okay, we can say part of it is you develop and then you understand, oh, there could be consequences, right? But most of that, we don't draw that line to say this is proper logical thinking, or now I'm devastating myself, right? Destroying myself with this negative self-talk. We never properly formulate the proper, okay, this is logical thinking. Okay, this is destroying me. We just pack all that shit on there and you don't know, okay, I'm going to keep this. I'm going to take this away. You brought it up. Be alone, go through that process. Nobody takes that time. But what is that? That's awareness, and then becoming aware of what you know, what you don't know, what's detrimental to your evolution, what's aiding your evolution, keeping, like Bruce Lee says, learn, keep what's good, discard what is not yours, right? Boom. I even have a poster of him in my office. If you notice, in my office, when you go in, on the wall by the switch, right? That's what we're talking about here. Like it's again simple. No, this isn't like divine ascension, higher galactic mission where we're reconnecting with Saturn and our roots through the portal of Stonehenge. Like this isn't that shit. And by the way, if you can't even make your bed in the morning, fuck the Saturn, Stonehenge shit and Mercury in retrograde and all that crap. Okay, you're not broke because you were born with an Aries moon and Mercury's in retrograde. You're broke because you can't get your shit together. Okay. And I don't want to turn this into a rant, right? I'll pass it back to you. But this is very simple, ladies and gentlemen. It's an awareness. Fuck consciousness and all that buzzword shit. Awareness. Like, and I'll pass it back to Pablo after this. Think about the last drive that you made that was more than 15 minutes. Think about it. Today, yesterday. How much of that drive do you actually remember? How much of that drive do you actually remember? That tells you your level of awareness. That's it for me.
Whoa, shit. God damn. Shit, now you know I love ranting, man. Fuck all you motherfuckers, man. God damn. Shit. No, but you're right. You're right. Imagine if we were brought up in in an environment that support this type of thinking, that supports this type of awareness, like you just said. Imagine the possibilities, man. Imagine if you grew up around parents or uncles that actually supported you, that actually helped you and guide you in a way that, yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Do it. Man, I think society would be in an entirely different direction that we're headed right now. I think the problem is that, let me drink some fucking mate. Shit. Another one. Oh, my consciousness just expanded, brother. Thanks. Yeah, I see nature, right? Most of the lectures or the teachings that I get, they come from nature. You are part of nature, right? We are a part of nature. You don't see a fucking lion or a bird or a fucking ant going to seminars to learn how to be a proper ant, right? Oh man, I gotta study hard these books on learning how to be a proper lion. Shit, because I don't know how to be a lion. The problem and the beauty of us is that we have an awareness, consciousness, whatever you want to fucking say it, a mind that can expand or contract. So, because of these evil individuals, whatever you wish to call it, conspiracy theory, reptilians, whatever you wish to believe in, the devil, blah, 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 we subtract, we become the mirror of, how do you say it, of the like I don't know how to say it in English. I forgot the fucking word. But whatever your parents, whatever your ancestors went through, that they felt that they were lacking, all these negative, stupid things, they get passed on to you, and so you just buy the bullshit. You don't have to be like them, right? But you just buy it without any question. You say, yeah, you know what? You're right. If my mom and my dad were born poor and they were drug addicts or they were, yeah, you know what? I was born into it, man. That's just what it is. I accept it for what it is. But no, why? Well, because the mind is very malleable. So the problem here is that you don't take full responsibility over your own life, over your own mind. So the, this motherfucker, this another thing that you brought up that is very important. This is something that has to do with the Toltecayotl. You guys know that I always talk about Toltecs, the Toltec wisdom, which is, by the way, becoming more and more mainstream because of the four agreements and all that shit. I mean, I like it, but you guys need to do the proper research. Otherwise, it becomes the same shit. You just follow and follow and follow and follow without really understanding or absorbing, right? Anyway, they said whenever you, I mean, travel, yeah, come here, learn everything that we have to teach you, blah, 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 blah. Then go out. Don't just stay here because this is just one fraction of the whole truth. There is not just such thing as a one fucking truth. So they would teach the Toltecs, go outside, get out of this, of Tenochtitlan, get out of the city and learn some of the things, right? And that's why from Nicaragua all the way up to Alaska, they created the Toltecayotl because they were traveling and traveling and traveling. However, they taught them whenever you visit a new place, don't try to impose yourself with this fucking gospel of everything that we taught you. Yes, it's some good shit, but you don't want to pass it on to others. First, go there, learn, observe without judging, right? Observe without trying to make it, oh, yeah, it must be this, because that's your own imprint that was given to you, right? Whatever you just learned here with us, and I'm talking about this is a story from the Toltecs, right? You're filtering everything through what we just gave you, and that's wrong. Go there, empty yourself, empty your cup, learn, observe, and then take what can enhance our culture, right? Learn from them, which is what you just said with Bruce Lee. Take what serves you and discard what doesn't work, and that's it. It doesn't have to be bad, whatever, but you observe without judging. You say, man, this motherfucker's doing it in a way that it could actually benefit me. And then the story goes that come back to our town and teach us that thing. So the Toltecayo, that's why even today, after thousands and thousands and thousands of years, I'm still talking about this shit because it's a living thing. It's like consciousness. It's like the mind. It's a living creature, if that makes sense, that keeps growing and evolving. And that's how we are. You can take some of Brian, you can take some of me, and then make it your own. God damn it. Don't become a fucking follower. Because that's what I'm always saying with you guys. Don't be a motherfucking follower. I fucking hate saying that shit. Sometimes when I had some of my students, they started growing mustache. Like, man, okay, cool. If you want to have a mustache because you really want to have it, do it. Not do it. Just don't do it because I have one. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with you? Damn. Yeah, but I get it because they wanna like, I don't know. Let's say that one of your students gets a Lamborghini, even though he don't like Lamborghini or she doesn't like Lamborghinis, but it's because, oh well, I wanna have some of that essence, some of that flavor, some of that ching that Brian has, right? I mean, I get it, but that's not the way to become free. That's not the way to become free, all right? So just take what works for you. And here's the question, and then I'll pass it back to you. And then we can begin to wrap it up. How do you know you? How do you figure out what's really yours, right? Because in a society that is full of different information, distractions, everyone has a different method, everyone has a different opinion, everyone is blah, 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 blah. In today's world, and the people that are listening right now, how do they know? How do they begin to listen to their true selves and be like, oh, okay, so this is actually what I like versus what is expected of me, right? Pass it to you, man.
Good question, man. I think it's a little different for me now because I would say compared to the average person, I'm a lot more in tune or in touch with myself. I mean, I hate fucking saying that because it's so mainstream, but basically I can tell whether a basic desire or impulse that I have as a human being now is external or internal. You get what I'm saying? And most people don't know. Like most people will, start following you or me. And then, like you said, they literally start copying us. And I'm like, yo, dude, like they'll even make videos where they try to sound like you. Right? It's like, come on, bro, give me a fucking break. Like, I get it, but everybody goes through that phase. So did I. You just copy people that you started with because you don't know any better, right? It's simple for me now. I'll give two answers. From now, I know right away if something is internal or external, right? And just to break it down, if I'm already in my mind looking at, oh, how many likes am I going to get? Or, when I get it, that one chick's going to give me attention. Like you're already like doing it for people outside of you, right? The question I would pose to you is this. If it was just you on the planet and you got that car or whatever, would you still enjoy it? Because people think in the reference of like material stuff. So that's like the simplest example, right? Or if you finally walked around more confident and you felt it, but nobody saw it, would you still be like, dope? Or would you be like, oh, would you still be looking for people to, oh, look how confident I am, right? I think that's the key, dude. And what I'm describing to you makes sense. To someone else, they might be like, well, no, I already have that, when they don't. There's still a confusion there. Big difference there, what I said. It's almost like the same question when someone asks me, man, I don't know what I want to do, like a career. And when I tell them, well, what if money was off the table? What would you do? Now they're like, and they can't figure. I'm like, okay, that's the answer you need to find. You need to present something different to your mind to put yourself in the position to understand that, because you've always thought career, money together. You've never thought enjoyment, what I like, what I want to dedicate myself to, what I'm good at, what I'm not good at. All those things were secondary or invisible. It was just money, 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 right? And then you look at your beliefs and mindset around money, it's fucked up. It's not even right. So you're already coming from a negative 10 programming in that, and you're filtering it through that. So it would be like as if you had the ability to have, like, for water, like a spring alkaline water filter, but on the 10th level, but you turn it all the way down to like 1, and then you drink bad water and you're like, man, like what the fuck? But you have the capacity to have the number 10, but you're only operating at number 1 because you don't know. But you've said a ton of stuff, bro. Be alone, spend time with you. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I think money is the root of all evil? Or what do I think about money? Can you answer that question? Have you ever asked, but talking to yourself is weird. That's the bullshit that they taught you. I talk to myself all the fucking time. I'm very in tune with me. So much so that, and this is the key, ladies and gentlemen, you have to master you before other people. We can start talking to people and very quickly see their bullshit, right? someone who's pretending to be confident in front of me, very quickly I'm like, okay, this person's full of shit. And I can tell them, you're putting on a facade, huh? And they're like, how'd you know? Right? But we've become so in tune with ourselves that the tuning fork now is and it gets next to them and it's like, that fork isn't moving. Something's wrong. It's cracked right here. Do you see the crack? And they're like, what do you mean? I didn't see it. How do you know? Well, we've spent time with us, dude. So as much as it's a technical skill, right? At the same time, people have to, and this is when no one's around. I'm not watching. You're not watching. Instagram's not live. You're sitting in a room by yourself, right? Now, I'm challenging you, and then I'll pass it back to Paul, and we'll wrap up. Because I guarantee you, most of you, if you sit in a room, you won't even be able to focus to talk to yourself. You'll be pulling out your phone. You'll be like, oh, I'm kind of hungry. Oh, I want an ice cream. Like, your mind is so fucked up, you can't even sit still for 5 minutes to do this exercise, which means you need to do it more and more. Just like if you meditate and you're like, oh, I just did it for 10 minutes and nothing happened. Well, keep going. Try it again and again and again. Like when I started meditating, I was horrible because my mind was blah, blah. And now I can literally, like, in the middle of a crowd, just, or now if I think of being grateful, I get a shot of just bliss in my body immediately. I could be walking and do it like, oh, I feel like I'm going, oh, like I'm floating, right? And it's a great feeling. But before, I'm like, damn, what the fuck does it even mean to be grateful? Like, you get what I mean? But then you have to tap into that more and more. And I'll pass it to you here. Think about this. If you've done something in a very like addictive way, like playing video games and that kind of stuff, think about how much time you've put in. Now look at this subject matter and how much time you've put in. Think about it. You got good at that video game by putting in 5 or 10,000 hours. With this shit, you're gonna have to do the same fucking thing. That's it for me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I say, people. How long have you invested into the lifestyle that you have right now so far and that you don't like? And then all of a sudden you want to change it. Well, it's not going to take one day, and it's not what you do every once in a while. It's what you do consistently, right? That changes you. And you brought out something very important that I remember. I holy shit. I'm not gonna. I ain't gonna say it here for the podcast, man. Shit. But I remember when I started recording myself and all these things, I used to say, who you are when no one's around you, who you are when no one's watching you, is way more important than the person and the mask and the facade that you put on when everyone's around you. Because we can all fake it, all these things, fake it till you make it. We do it simply because we want to impress other people, and our attention and our focus is way more outside of ourselves than we would like to. Now, I'm not saying that it's not important because we're social creatures. Yes, okay, I understand it. But how the fuck can you be a human being that functions properly in society, that can add something instead of taking and taking and taking? How can you become that when you don't even know who you are, right? It's that cheesy old saying, how do you love someone when you don't even love yourself? But it's right. It's so simple. It's so difficult. It's very, very simple if you think about it, but most people don't fucking do it. Why? Well, because they keep you distracted. They keep you inside the matrix. I mean, these distractions that we're talking about, it could be said like the Matrix. I don't know, whatever the hell, whatever you wish to believe, whatever label you want to put into it. So there are certain things that you can start doing right now to just take away all this bullshit that was laid on top of you. One of them is being alone. If you don't, man, I don't know. There's a lot of people that don't know how to be with themselves. That's sad. That is just plain sad. God damn. You can be surrounded by a bunch of people and yet be so alone, feel so lonely because you don't know yourself. You don't know who you are. So be alone, undistracted. The art of doing nothing, my friends, it's some rough shit because you feel your brain is telling you, oh no, you can't do this. Oh, you have to do. That's the society that we were brought up in. Like you have to do something all the time. Now, I'm not saying that you should become a lazy nothing and do absolutely nothing in your life. All I'm saying is maybe within the 24 hours of a day, how much can you just sit still and do absolutely nothing? Now, I'm not saying put your mind in blank because that is virtually impossible. Like saying, heart, I want you to stop. It's a part of your body. It's supposed to function. It's supposed to create thoughts. It's supposed to, you're supposed to think. Your mind will always be working. All I'm saying is, how can you just sit there and observe without judging, without doing anything? You just let them pass. Let them pass. Whatever is happening, just let it pass. And being alone, especially when you're surrounded by nature, it's a great form to rediscover yourself, to really know at the very core what you're all about. And remember what I said. This is something that is in my very first book. And it's something that I've been saying for over a decade, more than a decade. Who you are when no one is around is way more important than who you think or present when there's people around you. And I remember I was referring this to style because I started as an image consultant. I used to say how you dress when no one's around is way more important than how you dress when you go out to work with your friends, with your girlfriend, with whatever, right? Because it goes back to what Brian just said. Is that what would you do if there was none of the bullshit that society is throwing at you? If there was no money, if money was not a problem, it's something that I always say. If all the things that you wanted in your life was already there, what would you be doing? And you're right. Most people are like, shit, that's a good question, Pablo. Come on, man. You don't even know how your life is going to be. I mean, that's just sad, man. That is just sad. But it's part of the whole thing. I'm wrapping it up. I'll pass it to you if you have any final thoughts. It's whole. If you really pay attention, go back to the beginning of this podcast, is being rigid, right? I'm just one thing. I have to be a good realtor. I have to be a good son. I have to be a good father. Man, you can be all these different things. It has to do with the discipline, the immersion, and how bad do you fucking want it, right? And once you get good at one thing, like Brian says, like I say, how you do anything is how you do absolutely fucking everything. Literally. Take it like that, literally. If you take a bad shit, then you're gonna, I don't know, you're gonna have a bad job, right? If you don't sleep well, then you're not gonna have a good day. If whatever, the most mundane things, simple things, you can translate that into the most like the fireworks, like driving a Lamborghini or being super millionaire famous. If you look at something that I love about warriors and the warrior code is you can study the samurais, for example, and they would treat everything like a training, like they were training with a sword, with a katana. They would drink their tea in such a ceremonial, serious way. Not to say that they didn't laugh and they didn't have a good time. Oh shit. But the way that I'm saying is you should approach your life like it matters, like everything matters, because how I do everything is how I do. How I do anything is how I do everything. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. So, any last thoughts, brother?
No, man, I thought that was good. I think the people who are really going to accelerate and do well are the people who keep it simple. I think social media and a lot of the shit, the marketing gimmick stuff has been real, like overcomplicating shit, and the people who just keep it simple. And I mean, same with a lot of the stuff. The main stuff that I'm teaching is like sales and real estate. And I have to keep simplifying it, and all these ads pop up. And did you hear about this person presenting this idea? It's like, dude, you can't even add 1+1, and you want to do multiplication and geometry and calculus. That's not the way it works. Keep it simple, and everything else will take care of itself, because the next challenge will present itself as you start conquering, right? And people just are in a rush, or they want, I know I'm at level 1, Pablo, but I know I don't even know the styles yet, but tell me what it's like to transcend. It's like, dude, you don't even know the styles yet. Relax. Take your time. Like, what the fuck is everybody in such a rush for? Man, take your time. Keep it simple.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Keep it simple and take your time. Don't be in a rush, man. God damn, relax your ass. God damn it. You got to learn how to relax. People are always in a rush. I fucking hate saying that. But with that being said, brother, we have an announcement. We're gonna have a networking event, like a lunch and learn, something like that. Saturday, what is it? The 19th, 10 to 12. This the 19th of March, 2022.
Yes, Saturday, yeah.
This Saturday. We're gonna have a meeting where we can, just Brian is gonna teach something. I'm gonna have my piece, and I'm gonna share some things. But the main thing is we want true people. I was about to say the N word. We want true. We want true people that have this hunger to connect, because we genuinely want people to succeed. We genuinely want people to be hungry and to help them in any form, shape, way, or form that we can. Because I know that if you do good in life, I'll do good in life. Not because I'm some fucking God, higher consciousness, or whatever. No, literally, when you're around successful people, they see that you have that hustle, that entrepreneurship in you, and they don't hate you. You know, they're like, oh, you fucking Bryan, I see you trying to get ahead in life. Fuck you. No, they're like, yeah, good, do it. It becomes liberating. That's what I'm trying to say, right? So we want people like that. This Saturday, we'll meet you there. Go. I'll post all the tags for Bryan. Everybody knows already. At Bryan Casella, bryancasella.com, all that shit. And if you find him, because if you find him, because we've been getting censored and all that shit again. We've been getting censored and shadow banned and all that shit again. Fucking pandemic, fucking reptilians, fucking dystopian, great reset, adrenochrome drinking, white nose motherfuckers. Shit. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm Pablo Mentor. This is the Fashion Matrix. Until the next one. Peace.